welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. Ukraine's Ministry of Justice has initiated a number of successful projects over the past months, making life much easier not only for ordinary Ukrainians living on the mainland, but those citizens who ended up trapped in the combat zone or were forced to flee their homes because of the hybrid war in the Donbas region. Today, we're joined in the studio by Stanislav Kutsenko. He is the head of the main territorial Department of Justice in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Hello, and thank you for joining.
Hello.
So first of all, I would like to talk about such a project of Ukraine's Ministry of Justice as legal aid to people who are currently living in the combat zone and to internally displaced persons. What kind of aid are we talking about?
First of all, we are talking about free legal aid, and it's absolutely European and world trend to help people with free aid from state government. It's financed from taxpayers, let's say, but for end users, it's always free of charge. And of course, we have separately target group. It's internally displaced people and also participants of anti-terroristic operation, and they have like priority, especially in bordering regions with anti-terroristic operation. I mean, Luhansk, Donetsk regions, and we have very good statistics that nearly 70,000 people per month use free legal aid from Ministry of Justice, and amount increases every month. And our permanent clients are also IDPs, let's say. We help them a lot. Yes. And for sure, very popular services are proving some legal facts. Among legal,
like what?
Like birth and death. Because, for example, a Ministry of Justice, we provide like proving 5 legal facts: marriage, changing of name, divorce, birth, and death. And for sure, for example, when a person is birthed in occupied territory, they want to have legal document of Ukraine, and we help a lot with this. And also the same with death, because people die there, but let's say children, they want to bury person in on main part of Ukraine, and they appeal also for us with such requests. And the procedure was quite complicated and long before this.
Yeah, since the start of the conflict in 2014, it has been very hard, if not almost impossible, to obtain such certificates that you were just talking about. And now the procedure is simplified. How?
So before this, you need some, let's say, several months to deal with this, because you need to go to court and wait for your decision in order to approve your legal effect. Now we have changes to Civil Code of Ukraine, and from February 2017 the procedure is following. You just come for several days to main territory of Ukraine, not several months, and you go to any office of registration of civil acts or to any office of free legal aid. You get there the form of application to court. Our specialist helps you how to make it and to prepare it. You go to court, and according to new legislation, court should propose the date of solving your issue in 1 or 2 days.
So it's not up to 2 months as it used to be before. About those centers of free legal aid, are they situated in the occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk as well?
No, they are not situated there.
So they're on the mainland, Ukraine?
Yes, mainland, and we have like 551 centers, and also nearly 1,000 distance centers. They are smaller, but they still exist. And for sure, there are a lot of people who apply with their problems to our centers in Luhansk, Donetsk region, Kherson, near to Crimea, and for sure we help them. And first of all, a lot of questions are also with legislation of documents, because, for example, if person have a passport of Russian Federation and it is issued by Crimean bodies, we don't accept such documents, because in this case we conduct person like to be from illegal, unlawful territories. But if person, for example, has a passport of Russian Federation, but it is issued on, let's say, mainland of Russia, we accept such people. But also we help people with obtaining the document of internally displaced person. We consult how to get this document, and actually we consult on various issues, because legal is free of charge, and on all possible questions that are in legal field or just in everyday life questions.
How many people, let's say from the beginning of 2017, have turned to those centers to obtain a document proving that they're internally displaced persons?
We can say about 10,000 of people.
That is a huge number.
Yes, huge number. The general amount of clients, of citizens, let's say, nearly 6,100. And a lot of people, and we think it is because of free visa regime, a lot of people now want to show their Ukrainian citizenship, because they
just so they can use the visa-free travel regime of the EU.
Yes. And we have more and more cases when people come to Ukraine to marry because their marriages in LNR, DNR or other territories, it's illegal for Ukraine, and their documents are not also useful in Ukraine. So they want to obtain Ukrainian documents, and we help a lot. Why? Because of easy procedures.
How about certificates for getting higher education?
It's not competition of Ministry of Justice, but we have the service that is called Apostle. So we help with such documents for people. But in this case, when they want to make a legal educational document, they need to contact the Ministry of Education. It's, let's say, almost the only case we don't work with.
Okay. Now, moving on to other achievements of the Ministry of Justice of Ukraine. There has been an institution of private executives launched. Could you explain what this is?
Private executor will help state executor, and with this we make like the whole market with competition. So person now can apply either to state executor or to private ones. The private executors, they are lawyers as well. We now have competition for private executors. The person who is 25, who has a legal education and at least 2 years of practice, can become a private executor. They go through exams, they get certificate of private executor, and they are controlled by Ministry of Justice. So we cannot say that they are like collectors or other illegal people
working on their own, right?
Yes, because they are controlled by Ministry of Justice. We now check their offices, and most important, private executors, they don't work with most sensible social issues. For example, children. If there is any argument on children with whom the child should live, with husband or wife.
Oh, if they're separating, right?
Yes, if they're separating. Private executors don't deal with this. It's only state executor. And also where is a part of argument state body, also private executor don't deal with this. So we control them, and also we force them to have their own security and insurance, because without insurance they cannot work on legal market of Ukraine, let's say.
That's logical. What other services do the private executives provide for Ukrainian citizens?
First of all, they can deal with some private arguments. For example, if companies, they have any problems between each other, they have a legal decision of court, private executive can help with them with this. They can arrange amount of money and percentage that the private executor receive. And most important, that they have insurance. And for example, if private executor gets like 10 million or 50 million hryvnias, this amount should be secured. And we can guarantee that such private executor will not run out of country, for example, with great amount of money. And for sure, they are controlled by Department of State Enterprise, of State Executive Office in Ministry of Justice. And also we will check them on year-based level in order for them to have well-shaped offices, in order for them to stick to laws while execute court decision, and so on and so forth.
The requirements you've just voiced clearly state that there is no option of the private executors to be corrupt, because it's kind of impossible, which is really good. Moving on to the other service of the ministry, it's an online service, and it is so-called House of Justice. What is this?
Yes, it's online House of Justice. You can find it under link online minjust.gov.ua. I'm proud that this project started from Kyiv Territorial Department of Justice. It was our idea, and it worked like local, firstly, local website, but now it operates on national level. And for example, there are such popular services on online House of Justice like registration of business, registration of private entrepreneur, and liquidation of private entrepreneur, because it's very popular popular service among people. And
so now people don't need to go to any state departments. They just can get online and register their business or close their business within just a couple of minutes, staying inside their own house.
Yes.
It's really convenient.
And they don't need to use any mediators and to pay them money, because it was like corruption in this sphere. We terminated it. And now you can close your private entrepreneur office or open it within 1 day. Because we have state registers, and actually these people work with state registry, united one, and when a person is terminated as private entrepreneur or registered, in 1 day all data is in registry, state registry. And for example, if you need to communicate with tax office, they also receive in electronic form data on your liquidation, for example.
That's really convenient.
Yes.
How about the projects that the ministry has that have been issued in joint work with our international partners, like European Union or the United States of America? Because I know there's a number.
Yes, first of all, we work closely in question of jails, and Canadian office support us a lot. And also with USAID we work a lot. They supported.
What is USAID? How does USAID work in Ukraine?
They supported our project that is called I Have a Right. It's national campaign to protect people's rights. This project works, first of all, on basis of free legal aid network, and its main goal is to provide legal aid and legal education to people, because the main problem of Ukraine, big problem of Ukraine, that Ukrainians don't know their rights, they cannot protect them, and that's why they can be victims of some local authorities.
Yeah, end up in a tough spot, basically, at some point of their lives.
Yes, and we help with this campaign, I Have a Right. For example, this year we will try to fight corruption and help people with corruption in higher education institutions, also in court system, and we just make some video reels, some instructions for people how to protect their rights. And then we plan to integrate our programs with programs of Ministry of Education in order for children from 6 years start to learn their rights, and secondly to protect them in order to be legally educated.
You've just mentioned you've had video reels. Where do you distribute them? Online?
First of all, such reels, they can be qualified like social marketing, and we can screen them on TVs, like sometimes even in prime time, and also we launch them online through internet.
So if I want to watch such a video reel, where should I dwell? On the internet?
Yes, in internet you can just write in browser like Ministry of Justice, legal aid, for example, or how to protect my right in Ukrainian. Yes, first of all. But for example, now a new website of Ministry is launched. It's also English in English version.
Great.
You can use it as well in Russian also. So actually you can use it. And first of all, the reels are very short, like 35-40 seconds, and they are quite informative. And they can always send you to any website of Ministry of Justice that gives more detailed information for you.
Provides more information.
Yes.
That is great. Any other projects you would like to talk about?
Yes, for sure. The most popular projects are in field of registration of civil acts. For sure, we can tell a lot about our marriage project, but people know about it.
It is really popular in Ukraine.
Yes, let's say that every 10 Ukrainian use it now in Kiev.
Every 10th Ukrainian?
Every 10th, yes. From 27,000 of Kievitis to 2,700 pairs, they used it in Kiev. So it shows very growing potential.
Well, I can tell you that the practice of waiting for another 30 days for people who are in love could be excruciating at times. So this is a very good initiative.
Yes, for sure. And with this initiative, we wanted to support like touristic aspect of this project and also social one. Touristic, why? Because people can come to Lviv, Odessa and have fun, some good time, and also get married, like in Las Vegas, let's say.
Yeah.
And in sensitive regions like Luhansk, Donetsk Oblast, people who are IDPs, who participate in terroristic operation, they can come for some hours and register their marriage. For example, our absolute record is 17 minutes. 17 minutes.
In 17 minutes, people got married. Just